Hey, welcome to the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast with me, Iona Meade, your host at the Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona. I just realised that I have done the episode title or the number wrong, but it's okay. I will actually alter that. So I want to do this episode. I am in a different location, coming to you from my hometown, or one of my hometowns, in a different location and feeling a different vibration, to be honest. So the Seven Freedoms Frequency is all about life work balance and raising our vibrational frequency. And today is Spiritual Freedom Saturday. And today I want to talk about guidance and ease, grace and flow. So I have segments for this podcast, but I want to kind of talk about what has led me to change location and what has led me to be with you today and speaking with you today. So hopefully you'll enjoy this episode, share it out, subscribe to the Soul Legacy TV. So usually we will raise our vibration, and we'll talk about our vibrational frequency. It's a very practical episode. Is a very practical podcast in terms of, hearing what it is that you want to set and manifest, the energy that you want to set forth as spiritual freedom. We know that tuning into the essence of who we are as souls having a human experience, that is what we manifest, right? So that's what we're here for. So hopefully you'll find great value in this episode. We'll talk about visualization, we'll talk about setting your intentions, we'll talk about how you want to launch, lead and leave your soul legacy with ease, grace and flow, and we'll talk about the book. So usually I'll read a book every single day, and so this is the book. It's a book that I co-authored in, because I've relocated literally like the last couple of hours ago. I was like, okay, so what book am I going to read? I hadn't actually read a book for today, and what card am I going to pull today? And so I actually, I wouldn't say kill two birds with one stone. I remember Louise Hay saying, don't say that. But actually in here, I have a card from Keepers of the Light, which I didn't know was actually in there, and a chapter that I actually wrote in this co-author book series. Soulful messages, the right guidance at the right time. So we'll talk about that at the end, and I will invite you to our monthly networking call for spiritual entrepreneurs who want to come together and co-create and connect and collaborate. And I'm really, really looking forward to the call. And I've just had a message back from what will be one of our members, saying that, she really resonated with the message and she had goosebumps. And I'm just like, wow, I'm really in a space where my energy is shifted, and I want to share that with you. So it's quite late here in the UK, and I thought, well, you know what, I haven't been on my live, I haven't done this YouTube podcast, so I'm definitely going to do it. And I want to bring the essence of where I'm at. So before we dive into the episode again and the segments of this episode, and hopefully you'll find some value and you'll share this out. Spiritual freedom. What does spiritual freedom mean to you? Well, I want to talk about guidance and ease, grace and flow. And if you know me, if you're new to me, then welcome. If you're watching this in the Soul Legacy Academy, welcome. And if you're new to me, for me, spiritual freedom feels like looking at the world through my soul lens. And I say that because when we do everything in the world in the human sense, it kind of gets a little bit skewed and a little bit like what we're programmed and what we're conditioned to believe, and we're led by that. And so I moved, I gave up my home, and I decided to be a spiritual digital nomad after a year of fostering. And when I moved to London, I didn't move exactly. I went to stay with a friend in London, which was an experience, and I'm grateful, so grateful for the experience. And I was just speaking to one of my friends, my children's godmom, and she was just saying everything happens for a reason, like we do. Everything happens for a reason, and I believe that, and I know that we get our lessons. So I've relocated today, and so I was saying throughout this last sort of week or so, excuse me, bless me, throughout this last week or so, I felt like I've censored my message, meaning like what I've gone through, and that, when you put yourself in certain environments, how you feel, and hearing the message, just coming to this location and hearing the message from one of what will be our soul tribe. I've invited people onto our free monthly networking call, and I've really been reflecting today on my soul calling and why I'm here. And I've been calling in my soul tribe, and one by one, people are coming to me. And I wanted to reflect on that. It's like, what is it I'm really here for? And knowing what I've been through over this last few months, and knowing where I am now and moving into this next chapter, is that sense of belonging. Have you ever had that thing where you are around people that do not get you, do not get it, and are in the humanness of a lower vibration, no judgment, but in a lower vibration, and you're high vibing, and you're doing your thing, and you feel, and you're spiritually awake, and you're doing all those things, and it's that sense of belonging. It's that sense of light minds. It's that sense of coming together as a soul tribe and making our difference in the world. I think when you're not awakened to your soul purpose, you have a very different experience in life. And now I am, is like being around people that get it and get me. And so, and when I'm not, I notice that difference. And I haven't been around anyone that doesn't really get me for a really long time. And I'm not saying that, when I went to go to London, my friend didn't get me, but it's being on a very different path, with a very different energy, and understanding where our thoughts are, where our feelings are, and where our actions are. You can't really explain that to everyone, even though you really, really, really want to. And I think when we go on our spiritual awakening journey, sometimes as a spiritual business owner, as a light worker, we want to say, here's what I now know. Like, you need to listen to me, because, and to do that is not honoring, I believe, where the person is. And I think that everybody gets what they need to get when they need to get it, and everybody will up level when they need to up level. And that soul guidance comes from within, and it comes to us when we're ready to listen, and moving in my life with ease, grace, and flow. So again, one of my friends picked me up, and we were talking on the journey here, and I'm at my niece's house, and we were talking as well, and I just said, where I'm at, and I look like a crazy person to people that don't get it. When you would give up everything and you would pursue your path, and you would commit to your soul calling, even when it doesn't appear to be bearing fruit, and you would stand for something, that's big, and it's brave, and I commend you for doing it. And I know that if you're here, you're doing the same thing. And that for me is that following that soul guidance, even when it looks like you're crazy, even when it looks like, oh, well, you're not earning $1 million, or you're not doing the norm, or it's that soul guide. Like, for me, spirituality isn't just, well, I'm doing spiritual practices and I feel this way. It's literally tuning into the soul contracts that we are here to honor, the soul expression, and our soul calling. So are you in tune with your soul calling? Hopefully you are. So let's dive into the episode for the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast. Again, I'm your host, Iona Meade, and it's Saturday night. I'm tired. I've had a little bit of drink of wine, so it's like, okay, try not to slur your words. But I've had the most beautiful day in terms of understanding where I am and understanding a little bit more about me and where I've been in the past and where I want to go. So I've loved today. It's been a very strange day, but I've loved today, and I've loved the growth and the expansion and where I am. So hopefully you're in a great space and place, and if you are, you know, feeling some type of way, hopefully this will help you. This episode will help you. So let's rate our vibrational frequency in terms of how you feel. For me, I rate my vibration every single day in my journal. I don't have my journal with me. I've got the Keepers of the Light, the card, and I've got a book. I haven't got my journal, so I'm going to do my segments of my podcast from memory. So we're going to rate our vibrational frequency. So how do you feel in terms of, do you feel in soul funk or do you feel in soul flow? Now it's Saturday and you're here with me. I can see a couple of people on, so thank you for spending this little bit of time with me. And again, if you leave your comments, then I'll know who you are, where you are in the world. I'm in the UK, and streaming out and technology is amazing. You know, I'm talking about spirituality, I'm talking about freedom, I'm talking about life-work balance, and I want to know how you feel, because how you feel is everything. How you think and how you feel and the actions that you take is everything. How you feel, how I feel matters. It matters to the collective. So I would say that I'm vibing high. So we rate between a 1 and an 11. 1 is like, ugh, you're having one of those days, and that's okay. 11 is you're like, I'm in tune with my higher self. Like, I know that I'm meant for more. I know that I'm called for more. So I'm at an 11. I want to talk about in the next segment our vision board, and visualization and visioning and what is on your vision board, and what your soul is calling you to experience in every single area of your life. And on the 7 Freedoms Frequency podcast, I talk about spiritual business success, but coming from the space of contributing how you want to contribute in the world, your health, your emotions, your environment, your relationships, your spirituality, your financial freedom. And when I think of spirituality and I bring it into my contribution, I can't not do what I want to do in the world. It's just impossible for me. Like, I can't switch that off. And I want to be in an environment that fuels my soul. And for the last few months being in London, it was amazing, don't get me wrong, and I'm really grateful. And I know that I'm not a city person anymore. It's not in reflection to London. I'm a country girl now. I was born in a city, and I lived in the city, and I grew up in the city. And I think when you awaken, you become more sensitive. And I just love nature. And so London showed me the contrast of actually how you feel. And so have you ever heard of when people meditate in a certain city and it affects the environment? And I think that, you know, without that meditation or without that, whatever that thing, your thoughts and feelings in a certain place, it impacts you. I'm very sensitive, and I was just like, it's not the place for me. And I instantly I've come and I'm in the country and I feel at home. I feel settled. I feel ready to pursue my journey. Do you know what I mean? And I'm talking about my visualization and my journey, and it just feels really special. It just feels really amazing. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful to understand what fuels me and what doesn't, right? And I'm okay with saying that out loud. I wasn't okay with saying it out loud in the environment that I was, because I didn't want to be disrespectful, and I still don't want to be disrespectful. But when your soul knows, and I invite you to be around people and things and places that feel really good to you. And I didn't know the contrast. I really genuinely didn't. I'm 50, and I think, and you have friendships and you have people that you spend time with that are in your past. And I think when you grow to a certain level, you don't always resonate. And that's okay. And I don't want to bring any blame, shame, guilt around it, as Robin would say. I think you've got to be okay with where you are in terms of the level of growth spiritually, because not everybody does grow on a spiritual level. Not everybody knows what even spirituality is. And so that guidance is guiding you to the contrast maybe sometimes, and just knowing that what I needed was that contrast, to know how far I've come and to also know where I'm going. So I rate my vibrational frequency at an 11, and I have on my vision board the essence. I was saying to one of my friends who brought me here, my children's godmother, and I said, I've got soft. Because where I'm from, it was quite street in Leeds, the streets of Leeds. And I said, I've got soft over the years. And excuse me, I said, I'm nature. You know what I mean? I'm nature. I just feel soft and fluid and flowing. That's how I feel. Just saying. So, vision boarding. And I want to talk about how we launch our day, leave our day, and leave our day. Lead our day and leave our day. That's our legacy. As the founder of the Soul Legacy Academy. I want to know what you feel like when you wake up in the morning. Like, do you feel that guidance? Do you feel that ease? Do you feel that grace? Do you give yourself grace? And do you feel in flow? And if you don't, that's okay. But I know what that feels like. And I know when I have the contrast, it's not a nice feeling. And I'm back into that flow. I can feel it instantly in environments. You've got to be in an environment that supports you. So how you launch your day, lead your day, and leave your day. I'm now about to create a new routine and ritual, because I'm in a different environment. And I believe that I'm in the most supportive environment to really flourish. So I'm excited about that. So what 3 things can you do to support you? 1 to 3 things to support you on a spiritual level. Is it meditation? Is it journaling? Is it visualization? Where I am right now, outside is the biggest back garden that is in nature. And obviously we know in London, a lot of the places are like concrete, and there's so many trees, and there's a big park like outside. And for me, my biggest thing is being in nature. Being in nature every single day fuels my soul, and knowing who you are. So running a spiritual business, and you think, you've got to be a certain way, you've got to come online, you've got to, and I haven't. I've just got to be myself, and me fueling me is amazing. It feels amazing. And me being able to speak my soul's message here without being censored feels amazing. Without, like, when you're in a certain environment and people will judge you, or like you don't feel like you belong, or you feel like, people will think you're crazy because you're saying a certain thing. That's kind of how I felt. And now I'm in a bigger room, a bigger environment, and there isn't anyone hearing what I'm saying. So I'm able to speak with you. They might see what I'm saying. I'm able to speak with you and be truer to you. And that feels real. I'm always like that anyway, but when you're in a certain environment that isn't conducive with your soul, then you kind of filter. And I don't want you to filter. I want you to know, I want you to know what it feels like to have that sense of freedom on a spiritual level, to just be you. And so that's why I've created the space for the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Network, for YouTube podcasters and partnerships for spiritual entrepreneurs with a movement. So we've got a space. It's not on the socials, it's on Zoom, to just be us, to just be raw and real, to just share where we are, to share our visions unapologetically, and to root for our success. You know, I've really got clear on that today of being Iona Meade, who I'm meant to be, but also encouraging you to be you and share your voice and shine your light on online, and bring that, whatever that is that you feel like you need to share in the world. I want to hold space for you. And again, I see a couple of you guys on, and I cannot see any comments. So if you've got a comment, let me know where you are in the world, and you're watching me and you're here with me, and I feel blessed that you are. But let me know. Let me know if this message is resonating with you. So I want to talk about launching your day, leading your day, and leaving your day. How do you do that spiritually? Like allowing your gifts to flow, allowing your message to flow, allowing your movement to come through you. That's really special for me. And the action steps that I want to take over this next week, between now, Spiritual Freedom Saturday, and next Spiritual Freedom, is to be in nature and to be expansive and to ask for that guidance, and it be given even more, without feeling crazy, without feeling like, oh, you know, you're in the what is that called? The round peg in the square hole, something like that. Do you feel like that? I have, and I don't now. I have. And it's really important for us as light workers to be in tune with the gifts that we are here to bring to the world, because if we don't believe what we are here to bring to the world, nobody else will. So I want to hold space for that. I want to hold space for you to know that whatever is in your heart, whatever your soul is calling you to birth in the world, it's okay. You're not crazy, you know. So the next segment of this Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast, from memory, I think I'm doing really well, is gratitude. I don't have my gratitude stone on me that my daughter had, but expressing gratitude for all of the areas of our life. So when we bring in contribution freedom, we bring spirituality into that. Health freedom, we bring spirituality into that. Emotional freedom, whatever it is that we're feeling, that is spiritual. Emotions are spiritual. Our thoughts, our beliefs, our actions, our guidance, all of that is spiritual. And what we're thinking and what we believe for ourselves becomes true. That's the truest sense of the word in terms of spirituality for me. And so environments, spirituality, relationships, the relationships that you have in your life, do they feel in alignment with your soul? Or do you feel like you're, and people are hopping in and out, and I see that one person is consistent. So let me know who you are. Spiritual relationships, this is a connection, because you're here. That is meant to be. You're meant to hear what I have to say right now, and hopefully it resonates with you. And hopefully you've got something else to share and pass on, or share this out. Like, our relationships are our soul contracts, right? The things that we're supposed to hear when we're supposed to hear it. Spirituality in terms of finances, it's energy. Money is energy. And if I can share anything, it's that, right? So we express gratitude. I don't have my gratitude stone. It's a love heart from my daughter. Now they've hopped off, and that's okay. And I will call you out. I will call you out, because I think, you know, watching someone and not well, you go and you're back. I will call you out because I want to know who you are. I want to feel the essence of who you are. And I want to encourage you not to hide behind closed doors. I'm here, it's a Saturday night in the UK. I've had a little bit of wine. You probably tell, and I'll probably be like slurring and stuff, and they'll be like, "What are you doing, Iona?" But I just feel like every single day I want to show up, speak out, and serve deep, regardless. And so I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate contribution. I usually say about my contribution, my light work and my lifestyle, and I want to say that my contribution, the contribution that I want to appreciate today, is the contribution of my niece to me. And I've known this little lady, I call her my little lady, and I'll try not to cry. Like, this little lady from she was 4 years old, and I believe she's 34 now. She's 34. And this is the niece that I was talking about. If you're new to me, then you won't know. But if you're not new to me, I was saying when I decided to be a spiritual digital nomad, I gave up my home and I gave up my car. And I was like, I gave my car away to this particular niece. And in the last few months since I've been away, she's learned how to drive. She's passed a test. She's gotten now another new car. If you're in the UK, you might know of in the airports, there was fires. And the car that I gave her was in whatever that was. And so she got another new car and she's just driven me up the road to get some shopping and all those things. And I'm so happy and grateful. Like, that we have that relationship. So when I talk about my contribution, I usually say about my contribution, my niece is contributing to me. And I'm so grateful for that. I really, in a genuine, authentic way. And what I realized is that when we contribute in the world, and if this is you and you're contributing and you're point scoring, or you're expecting something back in return or whatever, please don't do that. Like, when you're contributing, there's a freedom in it. And I feel that from my niece, and I'm so grateful. Like, my niece contributing to me, and I'm here in her home. It's lovely. My health freedom, I'm happy and I'm grateful. And I appreciate my mental health, I want to say. And part of my movement is to improve the mental health and well-being of our nation and our future generation. But I was saying it today as I was driving in the car with my friend who came to pick me up. I was like, I can't be in the trenches with everyone who's feeling some type of way. But what I can do, because I'm not trained, what I can do as part of my calling and my purpose is support those of you who are skilled and trained in that way to do your work in the world in that way, to improve the health and well-being of our nation and our future generation. And I'm really excited about that because I know it's not my direct job, it's indirectly. And I feel blessed for that because I've been in the firing line, I would say, I'd describe it like that. When someone's not got their mental health in check the way that they would love to, meaning the 3 foster children that I was fostering, my great niece and nephews, meaning those that I've been around, like, it's trauma. It's trauma. And if I can support someone to help someone else through their trauma, because I know that you guys, some of you guys are like on it, and you're like, I'm so gifted. If I can support you, then that's our work done in the world. So I'm really grateful for my own mental health. I really am. I'm happy and I'm grateful. I appreciate love, just love. And I'm learning about love in a new way. I'm learning about love in the way that I'm trying to explain this, and let me know if you get this. I'm trying to explain about love, how I'm feeling it, doing these daily lives, setting my intentions and feeling my own vibration and being connected with source, that love is unconditional. And so being in the environment that I was in over this last few months, that love was not unconditional. And I had the contrast and I was like, what is this? Because I've been around so much love over the last few years. And when you don't love yourself, you can't give that unconditional love. and you're not tuned into that source of unconditional love. And then I realized that it's not about giving and receiving, it just is. And so it just is. We can be disconnected from it. And I'm realizing the emotions of love and being in a relationship and things like that. It's like expecting love from someone and you giving love from someone, and all of a sudden that love breaking down. That's not love, in my opinion. That's not love. And in friendships that's not love. It's not love. Love just is. Like, we can tune into it, tap into it or not, but that's not love. And so I'm grateful for the new beginning awareness that I have. So environmental freedom, I'm happy and grateful. Oh, I'm happy and grateful and appreciate just being where I'm at right here, right now. Yeah, I'm happy and grateful for that. I'm happy and grateful for relationships, for knowing what is for me and what is not for me. And I absolutely invite you to discern what is for you and what is not for you, and what is the pattern and the habit of old relationships. And when you grow and you become spiritually awake and something's not aligned with you anymore, absolutely let it go. They'll let you go and you let them go. It's okay. It's okay to do that. And I think that sometimes we think it's not, and it is. I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate financial freedom. One, I didn't buy that bowl of wine. My niece gave it to me. She's like, I've got a bag of... I'm like, what? I was about to buy some at the supermarket. And then when we went to go pay, I was like, okay, I'll cover it. And my niece covered the bill. And I was like, no. And I am so happy and so grateful. And if you are a spiritual entrepreneur, light worker who feels like you don't need money in the world to do your work in the world, I want to, let's go into the next segment of the soul income game. So the soul income game, Bank 50K 50 Days Challenge, I'm so excited to challenge every single member of my soul tribe to go out there and bank 50K in 50 days, go out there and make some connections, go out there and make our difference, go out there and serve. Excuse me. And so the soul income game is a game that I like to play every single day. And it is about being in alignment with aligning your movement, your message, and your money. And being in alignment with spending your money vibrationally. So we spend £1,000, dollars, euros every single day. I liken this, I was inspired by a book called Ask and It Is Given by Jerry and Esther Hicks. What's going on with her? And also another book called Prosperity Consciousness by Frederick Lerman. And so we spend our vibrational money voucher. And what I invite you to do is spend it on a tithe 10% to a worthy cause, like vibrationally. So my 10% is to Compassionate Friends, who is a charity for bereaved parents, and I am one. And spend £900, dollars or euros every single day, or carry it over to the next day and spend it on a bigger purchase, or carry it over to Sunday. I usually carry from Monday to Sunday my money over, apart from tithing, so I can make a bigger purchase. And so when I purchase on Sunday, I will let you know what the purchase is. And so I'm looking forward to that. I already know it's flights to Dubai. But what I know that as spiritual entrepreneurs, as light workers, bringing the essence of money into our business can be a hard thing. But I tell you from the heart that when we don't have the money to live the life, our lifestyle depends on it. Like when we're doing our light work, our lifestyle depends on it. Being a spiritual digital nomad and not having the choices to just get up and travel and that's my intention, right? But just to travel and to be in the place, like I said, where I was staying with a friend, and if I was banking my 50k in 50 days, I've come online like more recently, right, in the last few months, and doing my bank 50k in 50 days challenge again. Like, if you had the money that you really wanted to have, would you be the place that you'd be off and you'd be doing so many different things? Excuse me. So we don't want to repel the money, basically. So let's talk about the book for today, which is 365 Days of Soulful Messages, the right guidance at the right time. And again, I didn't read a book for today. I don't think I did. I might have listened to a book. This is a co-author book that I featured in. I'm going to share this with you. You can't probably see it, but that's my name, Iona Meade, somewhere. Can you see it? I'm showing it on the YouTube channel. And I say, look at the time, it's 13:33. I bolted upright, and I never said the words bolted upright. They'd edited it, and I wouldn't say bolted upright, but they changed it. And I was like, I don't want to do that for my co-author book series. Just saying, I want you to have your own voice. And if you don't know about my co-author book series, I'll share. I bolted upright, pointing to the clock, and urged my soul partner to pay attention before the time changed. He'd just picked me up after my last day at my soul-sucking day job, and we both knew the significance. Why? It's that moment you know that your loved one is close. I knew it was my son whispering, Mum, it's time to turn your wounds to wisdom again. I'll back up a little bit. I'll give you my soul's perspective on this confirmation of divine timing. I'd faced many challenges in my life, hitting rock bottom and being forced to rise above adversity on many levels: emotional, spiritual, intellectual, physical, and financial, including bankruptcy, divorce, and homelessness, but nothing compared to that phone call to say that my 19-year-old son had just passed away on the roadside in being knocked off his motorbike. After that, I took myself offline in order to heal. I didn't know that was the start of 3 years spiritual transformation that would lead me to sowing the seeds of my soul work in the world as an earth angel for soul legacy leavers. After 3 years, I sensed I'd reached a turning point when I heard a speech by Oprah, where she said, turn your wounds into wisdom. I realized, contrary to popular belief, time does not heal all wounds, but that didn't mean my life couldn't be positive. After all, only in the darkness can we receive our North Star and begin navigating out of dark times. And I just believe that I've received that. And I couldn't remember what I wrote, but I just believe that I've received that. I also realized that my wounds didn't condemn me to the life of darkness. As Rumi says, the wound is where the light enters you. I knew it was time to raise my vibration in order to be a beacon of light that blazes a soul path for others to follow. And that is what I'm here for today. Oh, I didn't even remember what I said. So this is the card for today. That was in that book for I don't even know how long. And it says, I can't even Mavahata Babaji. Try saying that when you've had a glass of wine. Soul expansion. Your consciousness is expanding. Thank you. You understand connections between all things. This is what I'm trying to say. This is what I am trying to say. Spiritual Freedom Saturday. That is what your consciousness is expanding. You understand the connection between all things. Do you? Really? Because I do. All right. So I want to invite you to our monthly call, the Spiritual Awakening. No, the Spiritual Business YouTubers Network. It is a free monthly networking call to come and co-create, connect, and collaborate with other like minds who get that consciousness and want to raise the level of consciousness on the planet. And you can't do that if you're asleep, right? You do that when you're awakened. So I'm really excited to have you on that monthly call. I think I remembered everything. And if I didn't, I apologize. Again, I'm tired. It's been like a long day for me. It's a transition. I'm in a different place. I'm loving what will be birthed from this space right here. I think you're amazing. Don't forget to share your gifts, shine your light, because you are born to serve. Big love. I shall speak to you soon. This is Iona Meade, signing off at the Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona. This is the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast. If you are a member of the soullegacyacademy.com, then make sure that you are scheduled into the Seven Freedoms Frequency calling gym for the first Monday of the month, and come to the networking call, which is also on the first Monday of the month at 9 p.m. UK time. So again, big love. Take care.